Welcome to Blonde Cards and Crafts. Let's make something together. Hello crafters and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be making using the Papercraft Society box number 38, and this is by Clare Roland, fondly known as Daisy May. So I thought rather than making a card we would make something different. Now this is the prototype that I've made. This is for your Christmas tree. It is a it's a bauble, but I didn't use a bauble to do this. What I've used is the clear plastic shaker cups that we get, and I just thought I'd like to do something other than a shaker with it. Now, although this one is a shaker because I have shaker bits in here, I thought I wanted to do something different other than a shaker card. So with this one, I have my image inside. We get 5 of these shaker cups. So on the back of this, I have just put a clear piece of acetate. And also, you'll notice on the back, I have a mirror image of the downloadable images that come in the box. So when we get our box of goodies, we have a downloadable link so we can download extra pattern papers and toppers, etc. And I did that already. And what I did was I had a play around, because doing stuff on the laptop is not something that comes easy to me, so the hubby had to show me how to do stuff. So what I did was I downloaded all the papers, I printed up the toppers. This is it in an A5. I also printed them up onto an A4 sheet, and what I did was I went into my printer and I got it to mirror image the images. So this would normally be over here and it would be facing this way. And what I got my laptop to do was to flip them over. So now I can have this image on the front, and then I can die cut this one out and have it on the back. So we have a mirror image going on, and I thought that would be really cool. And because I did it in an A4, I could still use the dies. So what I did was I took the dies that come in the kit, and I'll just show you that here. So we get the 3 dies for the 3 images that come in the stamp set. These are the 3 images that also come in the downloads and the toppers. And I took the die for this one, which is this one here, and I die cut it out. Now in order to do that for this image, you see this won't die cut that one out. So what I did was I flipped over my paper, I put my die there, and then what I did was I put it up against the window, and well, not actually up against it, but I just held it up to the light, and that way I could see through my paper. This is a 220 GSM white cardstock that I'm using here, and I was able to then work out exactly where the image was on the other side and die cut it out. So it die cuts it out for me, and that way then I can take the 2 images and mirror them. So we're going to do that with the bauble that we're going to make together today. So this is the first one. I had a go at making this. I used the little topper there. I hope you can see it, the bauble topper. I die cut that out from the Papercraft Society box 37. You can see it just there. I die cut that out, and I took the Merry Christmas and I die cut that out. I did it in silver holographic and in white. I hope you can catch all the colours there. I also stamped the snowballs here in a very pale blue colour, so you can just see them there, and I have them on both sides. And yeah, I was delighted with this. I have some tinsel in my stash. This is the skinny tinsel. It's Simply Creative. I got this last year and I had to go with using that. But I also have some of these large pipe cleaners in my stash, in the green and red, and as well in the, you know, the sparkly colours. And what I did was I put 2 of them together like the red and green one here, and I twisted them, and I did it the same with the sparkly ones with the green and the silver. I did it with the red. I put 2 red ones together, and I also did it with the red and the silver. So rather than using the tinsel, because that's all I have left and I want to make 2 more baubles, I'm going to use these pipe cleaners to go around the edge of my my decorative bauble for the Christmas tree. So I have a number of those done here. I'll show you. I did up a load of them, so I'll have plenty to go around and decide what colors we're going to go for. I've also taken some of the, I'll move these out of the way. I have taken some of my images, and you can see here, this is the one that was printed out originally. This is the mirror image, and when we put them together, this one, the mirror image, sits on the back. So when your bauble is spinning on the Christmas tree, you'll see the image from both sides. And I have got my my image here ready to go, and I'm going to die cut out the mirror image of that with you. I've also got some bits and pieces here ready as well, and I'm going to just move these out of the way and go through what you're going to need to make the bauble. So you can use whatever you have in your stash. I just thought that this would be a good idea for this Papercraft Society box. So let me tidy away everything and show you what we'll need to make one of these. So I have everything here now on the desk that I'm going to use. I'm going to make 2 baubles today, and I have, as I said, I have one of the images here ready to go with the mirror image. I have one here as well, and I have my one here and my die, so I can die cut that out, and I'll go through that with you as well. I've die cut out the frosty, and you'll die cut out a shadow for that, and I've done that again in holographic, and then I've die cut out the word in white. Now I've also die cut out the frosty again in holographic, but I die cut it out from the back. That way, when this is on the bauble, when you look through from the back, you won't see this at the back. You'll actually see the holographic at the back. So that's what I'm going to do with those 2. And I have 2 here for this one. I have my little bauble toppers here ready. What I did was I die cut those out first in my holographic, then I've die cut them out in white cardstock. This is 300 GSM cardstock, and I'm going to stick each one of these onto each one of these, and it'll just make it nice and strong. It's much stronger now. I used my collal glue as well, so when that sets, it sets hard, so it'll give strength to this for when it's hanging on the Christmas tree. I've die cut out a couple of snowflakes as well. I may die cut out more, I may add to it. These 2 pieces here are my snowbanks. I just found that with this one, having him just set here and adding the shaker bits to the bottom, I didn't really like the look of it. These shaker bits are all Papercraft Society shaker bits that we have gotten in different kits. These are sequins that we got in this kit, and they're again a white holographic that can be used. I've also got this little holographic confetti from another kit, and I have those all there to go. I'm debating using those because I just found that with this one I don't really like how it looks at the bottom, and I think it will look much better with our little image set on the snowbank, but you can always add shaker bits in like I did here. Now for our snowbank, I have this cut at 4 1/4, and then the height of it is about 2 inches, and you can see here I just cut a shape like a snowbank or a hill shape into it, and I did that for both of them. So for this one here, because my little guy is going to be sitting like this, I decided I'd put There's no one like you. And this sentiment came from box 37. They're the stamps that came in box 37 that I'm using. That's actually this one. Where's the previous? There it is. So in this one we didn't get any stamp sentiments other than the large one here in the bottom corner. So I did want to put a nice sentiment on, and I went with this one. This is from Sam Calcott's Made to Surprise box, and I've gone with There's No One Like You. So I have that down in the bottom right hand corner here for this image, and then for this image I've put it in the top left. That way I can add my little man there, and then the image is, the stamp sentiment is just there. So our snowbanks are a little bit longer than what we need. So from the inside of the dome here to the inside of the dome there is a little under 4 inches. So my piece is cut at 4 1/4. And what I can do is I can trim off the excess, but I want my snowbank to be set astride that. So when the other topper goes on top, it's closed over like that. Now I'm going to stamp on the back of this with you. That's why I've only done the front, just to save a bit of time. So I thought on the back we could stamp Merry Christmas or Happy Christmas and then the year 2022. So that's my plan for that. These little dots that are on the snowbank here, they're from the stamp set that we got in this kit. That's them there, and it's supposed to represent falling snow, and I just have it for a bit of texture on these pieces. So we have all our bits ready now. Let's go ahead and assemble everything. So before I do any more, I need to die cut out my mirrored image, and you can see here it won't fit over that. It actually, the sharp end is like that. So what I'll do is I'll put my image to the light, sit it on over it, and then once I have it positioned in the right place, I can die cut that out. So that's what I'm going to do next. I'm going to die cut this image out. So there you go. I have die cut out my image, and if you look here, you can see it just pops out, no problem. Now it might not be exactly the same as this one, but it'll be close enough that when we put the two together, and I used very low washi tape for that, low tack. So when we put the two together like so, and you can tell which one is the back, because the front one, it curves over, whereas this one will curve on top of the image. But that's okay, you won't even see it. If that bothers you and you want to flatten it, just run your bone folder over it like this, and it will flatten those edges for you, but I didn't find it any bother at all. So we have our two images now for this one and our two images for that one. I'm going to go ahead next, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put an image on each one here first where I want them, and once I've that done, I can flip it over and I'll have an idea of where my image is going to go on the back side, so I can do some stamping. So I'm going to clear everything back now, and we'll start going through the process for each bauble. Okay, so I'm going to stick this little fella down first, and we want to make sure that when you're gluing this down, you want to make sure that you're leaving yourself enough room. So I'm going to have this so it sits just above the lip here, and then I want to make sure that I don't put it on too high so it's sticking out the top. I just want to make sure that I have it in the right position. Now I've also got the frosty sentiment here, and that needs to go on as well, but I'm going to stick this on the outside of the bauble rather than the inside. So I'm fairly happy with that. I know that this will need to sit on here like so. So I'll want my little piece to be about there on that. So I can glue that down there. So it needs to just be set. I'm going to add, I'm going to use the collal because this will glue nice and strong and stiff and hard, and it'll give strength to the piece. Not that it really matters because it's inside, but I just like to use the construction glue when I can. So now I know that needs to be set just above there like that. And now I can add glue to the back of this one. So I'll just add a little bit of glue to the back here. And then we've got glue on that there, so I won't really need to add very much up there. And then we'll just line these up so they line up nicely. Lovely. Brilliant. That's great. We can do some stamping on that now, so it'll mimic the front there. We'll do some stamping on the back. But while that's drying, I'm going to glue this fella down here, and I'm going to do the same thing again using the cup. I'm just going to make sure I'm happy with where I'm putting this. I want there's snow one to be able to be seen, and then this is going to go over there. So it's very close to the one just there, but that's all right. So now let's do some stamping on these two pieces. So I've gone through all my Christmas stamps, and I have a lovely little Christmas wishes here that I'm going to stamp, and then underneath it I can write 2022. So I'm going to stamp that down. I'm also going to take the little falling snow stamp as well, and I'm going to stamp that too. Now the ink that I used on the other side was the Versafine Clare Warm Breeze. This is a lovely shade of blue, and I'll just pop my little pad down there. Now what I like to do is to get a little piece of scrap card, so I'll be able to stamp off. But first I'm going to stamp my Christmas wishes. So I'm going to just see how that stamps here before I go stamping it on my piece. That looks good. I'm happy with that. So let's see if we can get it looking as good this time round. Perfect. That'll do nicely. It's not perfect, but it's good enough. And we'll do the same then over here, and I think I'll put my little Christmas wishes here. I should have moved it up a little higher, and then I could have wrote 2022 underneath it. Hopefully that's straight as well. Lovely. That'll do nicely. Okay, now next we can do our stamping off using this one. So with this ink you can stamp once, twice, 3 times, and you can see the different, how it gets lighter and lighter, and I'm looking for this light color. So again, now if I had a lighter color in my stash, I could have used that. So once, twice, 3 times, once, twice, 3 times, and I think I'll do one more just along here. Lovely. So it's very similar to what's going on the other side. So now we'll do that with this piece. Perfect. Delighted with that. Lovely. So that's those two done, and that's our stamping done. Now it's assembling, so let's do that next. So I'm going to take one of my fine liner pens. This one is very similar to the colour of our ink, and I'm just going to put on it here. I just want to put 2022 somewhere. So I think with this one I can do it here, 2022. And I think I'm not going to put it anywhere here because here it'll be too low, and if I put in any shaker bits it's going to cover it up. So I'm just going to put it on this one. Okay, so now for assembly. So I have my 2 shaker bits here, and I'm going to make sure that my shaker cups are clean. And I did give them a little wipe earlier. Now what I found with these is, I don't know if you can see, but they're not like a domed shape like a bauble would be. These are fairly flat, and because of the way they've been packaged and stuff, they don't kind of sit proud, and I think that's why it didn't really work great as a shaker bauble for me. But what I'm going to do is I will add in a few little shaker bits. So our little piece is going to go in there like that, and you can see I will have excess to cut off, and I can do that once I've one side stuck down. And to do that I'm going to use some red liner tape. So I'm going to add some of this red liner tape now, and this is going to join the 2 shaker cups together. So you can go around the corner with the red liner tape. It kind of looks like it's bunching up, but once you pull off the release tape, it evens out lovely. So I was just pressing down, and then what I did was removed the release tape and then made sure that my little image was centered inside. I've put some red liner tapes over that now, where it'll join on to the second cup. So just over where I had the white snowbank paper there. So once I have the release paper off there, I'm going to add some of the small little snowflake shaker bits that I had in my stash, and then I can add the top of the shaker cup on. So next I have my hot glue gun, and I just want to decide what colours. I think the green and red will go well because there's green and red with this fella, but this fella is just blue and red. So I think I'll just go with the red around the trim. So with this one now we need to put some around this side, and then we'll have to come back and glue onto the back side as well, so it'll cover up both sides. So that's what I'm going to do now. I think what I'll do is I'll start from the top where my topper is going to go, and then I will run it around with the glue gun. So again, I'm going to go into high speed with this again. So for me, I'm using my hot glue gun to do this. I find it easier, and I've had it on for a while, so it's good and hot. So if you have the little finger protectors, you might want to use them here. But I just used a sparing amount of the hot glue, just enough to glue it down in place. And once I've one side done, then I'll flip it over and I can do the other side. That's the red one now done. I skipped through doing the whole lot of that and the start of the second one here with the green and red twist. I didn't think you need to watch me putting the edging around that. So once I have it done on both of them, then I can add my little bauble tops to the top of that as well. So the little bauble toppers, I have used some glue around the ring part so they split open down at the bottom, and then I can just use the hot glue to glue them in place, and that's that one done. And then finally I'm going to add my frosty sentiments to them. Now what I have done is I have stuck down the frosty on one side, and then I put the holographic mirror image on the back on the other side of the bauble. But I think in hindsight I should have glued the 2 of those together and then just stuck the whole thing as one piece. You see there, you can see the back, and I'm going to put the holographic on over it. I think I should have actually glued them together and then just stuck it down, but I mean, it looks great whether from one side or the other. I'm delighted with it. But if you do this, I would recommend that you put the mirror image on the back of your frosty word and then stick the whole thing down onto your shaker. I've also got some nice silvery string that I'm going to use. I got this in Sustrine Green in Limerick in Ireland, and it's a lovely silky kind of silver thread. So I'm going to use this to tie for the bauble so it can go onto the Christmas tree. So that's it. That is our 3 baubles more or less there and done. I know it's not a card, but I hope you enjoyed this tutorial of doing something different with a shaker cup. I do have baubles that I got from Amazon. They're the round cup shaped ones, and I plan on making more of these using those because I've run out of the cups now. But I love them. I think they're very cute. There's 3 little people that I have in mind to get these, so I hope they like them for their Christmas tree. But that's it now. I hope you enjoyed my video using the Papercraft Society box number 38 by Daisy May. If you did, I hope you give my video a thumbs up. If you're a subscriber, thanks for subscribing. And if not, you might consider clicking the subscribe button down below and ding the bell so that you'll receive notifications next time I post a new video. If you'd like to join the Blonde Cards and Crafts Facebook group, which we set up, it's called Your Cards and Crafts, then please do pop over to Facebook and have a look. So that's it. Links will be down in the description. Until next time, thanks for watching. Stay safe and bye for now.